Good morning to one and all. In the today's session of Module 5 in the green energy, let's have a glance look. In the previous session, one of our faculty, Professor Mr. Farooq Ahmed, has discussed about biomass. In the today's session of green energy, let's discuss objectives. The first point of objective is understand the green energy scenario, green energy sources and their utilization. Second is to learn about green energy conversion methods and their analysis. Third point is to understand the concept of green energy and zero energy. And the outcomes of green energy are: we summarize the concepts of green energy systems, identified renewable energy sources and their utilization, understand the concepts of applications of fuel cells and magneto-hydrodynamic generator, identified the methods of green energy storage for specific applications. In the today's content of green energy, the first one is introduction to green energy, fuel cells. Third one is classification of fuel cells with operating principles. Okay. Before moving into the introduction, let's discuss what is green energy. Green energy is any energy type that is generated from natural resources such as sunlight, wind or water. It often comes from renewable energy sources, although there are some differences between renewable and green energy. In the today's session, we will explore that. The key with these energy sources are they don't harm the environment first of all. Two factors such as releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. And how does it works? As a source of energy, green energy often comes from renewable energy technologies such as solar energy, wind power, geothermal energy, biomass and hydroelectric power. These are all comes under green energy. Each of these technologies works in different ways, whether that is by taking power from sun as with solar panels or using wind turbines or the flow of water to generate energy. It is a working principle of green energy. And what does it mean? In order to deem green energy, a resource cannot produce a pollution such as it found with the fossil fuels because it is of depleting nature. This means that not all sources used by renewable energy industry are green. For example, power generation that burns organic materials from sustainable forests from the sustainable forest may renewable, but it is not necessarily green due to carbon dioxide produced by the burning process itself. Green energy sources are usually replenished as opposed to fossil fuel sources like natural gas or coal, which can take millions of years to develop. Green sources are also avoid mining or drilling operation that can be damaging to the ecosystems. Types of green energy, let's discuss one by one in detail in the today's session. In the introductory session of green energy is the heart of all ecological strategies. It is the heart of all ecological strategies because it affects in three areas: environmental, economic and social. Conventional energy sources based on oil, coal, and gas have proven to be highly effective drivers of the economic process of the country. As we all know that our country's economy is mainly dependent upon the coal, oil, and natural gas. But at the same time, it will damages to the environment and to the human health. Parallelly, the damaging takes place to the environment and also to the human health. Renewable energy sources such as biomass, wind, solar, hydropower, and geothermal can provide sustainable energy services based on routinely available indigenous resources. These are all the green energies are developed or by generated or harvested by indigenous resources only. These are not fossil fuels. New renewable energy sources such as solar energy, wind energy, modern bioenergy, geothermal energy, and small hydropower are currently contributing about only 2%. These are the energy types and sources which will contribute to about only 2%. Today, we primarily use fossil fuels to heat and power our homes and fuel our cars. Basically, in our day-to-day life, we use fossil fuels to ease our works, like fuel our cars and power our homes. It is convenient to use coal, oil, and natural gas for meeting our energy needs. It is very easy and it is also very convenient to use the fossil fuels, but we have limited supply. Over a period of time, it can be depleted on the earth. Limited supply of these fossil fuels on earth. Even if we had an unlimited supply of fossil fuels also, the renewable energy is better for the environment. This is due to renewable energy sources cannot produce harmful gases. The renewable energy sources are zero emissions, cannot produce any emissions. Next comes to fuel cell. The basic principle of fuel cell is that it uses hydrogen fuel to produce electricity in a battery like device. As we all know that in the today's scenario of trending scenario, normally there is an increasing trend of graph for electric vehicles. Those electric vehicles use battery like device to ignite the source. A fuel cell vehicle could thus be described as zero emission. They run off a fairly normal chemical fuel, which is nothing but hydrogen. Very reasonable energies can be stored. A small amount of energy can be stored in these types of batteries, and the range of fuel vehicles is potentially quite satisfactory. It can be quite satisfactory to use these types of vehicles. It is not surprising then that there have for many years been those who have seen fuels as a technology that shows a great promise and could even make serious inroads into the domination of the internal combustion engine. As we all know that in the today's scenario, these electric vehicles, the internal combustion engine, in the internal combustion engines also there will be a contribution of electric battery technology. Main issues in the fuel cell, that there are many problems and challenges for fuel cells to overcome before they become commercial reality as a vehicle power source. There are some of the challenges that can be overcome, that should be overcome, could become a commercial reality as a vehicle power source. Okay, the next one is types of fuel cells. It will be broadly categorized into different types. Those are based on the type of electrode. The first one is alkaline fuel cell, AFC. Next one is PAFC, abbreviated as phosphoric acid fuel cell. Third one is PEMFC, abbreviated as polymer electrolytic membrane fuel cell. Next one is SPFC. It is abbreviated as solid polymer fuel cell. Next one is PEMFC. It can also be abbreviated as proton exchange membrane fuel cell. Fourth one is MCFC. It is molten carbonate fuel cell. Fifth one is SOFC, solid oxide fuel cell. Next categorization is based on types of fuel and oxidant. It is a combination. First one is the combination of pure hydrogen and pure oxygen, that is hydrogen and oxygen fuel cell. Next one is a combination of hydrogen rich gas and air fuel cell. Third combination is ammonia air fuel cell. Fourth combination is synthesis gas air fuel cell. Fifth one is hydrocarbon air fuel cell, a combination of hydrocarbon and air fuel cell. Last categorization is based upon temperature, operating temperature. In that, alkaline fuel cells, AFC. Okay, let's discuss in detail about alkaline fuel cells AFC. The alkaline fuel cell uses an alkaline electrolyte such as 40% aqueous potassium hydroxide. In a chemical term, it, it can be pronounced as aqueous KOH. In alkaline fuel cells, negative ions travel through the electrode to the anode where they combine with the hydrogen to generate water and electrons. This is the main principle behind the alkaline fuel cells, and the next coming pictographical representation are related to this combination only. Alkaline fuel cells were one of the first fuel cell technologies developed, and they were the first type widely used in United States space program to produce electrical energy and water on board spacecraft. And the pictographical representation of alkaline fuel cell is the hydrogen will enter from the top near the anode. The hydrogen H2 will enter from the top near the anode from the top. There it will enter into the anode on liberating electrons. Those electrons will travel through the meter side, and from the meter it will parallelly opposite to each other to the direction of flow enter into the cathode, thereby reacting it with the oxygen near the cathode side. On reacting the oxygen near the cathode side, there will be a liberation of H2O, that is water in the anode side, and also heat. Both water and heat out will be there near the anode. It is nothing but the pictographical representation of alkaline fuel cell. Next one is MCFC, molten carbonate fuel cell. The molten carbonate fuel cell uses a molten carbonate salt as an electrolyte. It uses a molten carbonate salt as an electrolyte. It has the potential to be fueled with coal derived gases. Those are methane and natural gas. MCFCs are high temperature fuel cells that uses an electrolyte composed of molten carbonate salt mixture suspended in a porous chemically inert ceramic lithium aluminum oxide LiAlO2 matrix. MCFCs don't require an external reformer to convert more energy dense fuels to hydrogen. The pictographical representation of molten carbonate fuel cell is the hydrogen will enter near the anode side from the top, thereby reacting it on liberating electrons, and the electrons will flow parallelly opposite to each other to the near the cathode, and near the cathode the oxygen will enter in the cathode side, thereby liberating carbon dioxide and water. On liberating heat and water out, and again the carbon dioxide flow to the cathode side. It is nothing but the pictographical representation of molten carbonate fuel cell. Phosphoric acid fuel cell. The phosphoric acid fuel cell is considered the first generation of modern fuel cell, PAFC. It can be abbreviated as PAFC. This is the most commercially developed type of fuel cell and is being used to power many commercial premises. The commercial premises are nothing but the apartments, buildings, hospitals, banks. These are all the commercial premises. It is one of the most mature cell types and the first to be used commercially with over 200 units currently in use. These types of fuel cell is typically used for stationary power generation. For to give a power to the commercial premises like hospitals, banks, and the community halls, we use stationary power generation for emergency purpose also. The stationary power generation is generator type, which is stationary in nature. PAFCs are also less powerful than other fuel cell given the same weight and volume. Next one is polymer electrolyte membrane PEM fuel cell PEMFC. In the polymer electrolyte membrane fuel cell, protons move through the electrolyte. That is, positively charged protons move through the electrolyte to the cathode to combine with the oxygen and electrons, producing the final byproduct is on producing water and heat. Polymer electrolyte membrane fuel cell uses a polymeric membrane as a electrolyte with platinum electrodes. It is a platinum electrode. Polymer electrolyte membrane fuel cell use a solid polymer as an electrolyte and porous carbon electrodes containing platinum as a catalyst. A catalyst is a one which is used for speeding up the reaction, and also it is used for slowing up the reaction. It is the same principle which will be followed for nuclear power generation also. There also catalyst is been used to speed up the fusion reaction or slow down the fusion reaction, making it necessary to employ an additional reactor to reduce carbon monoxide in the fuel cell if the hydrogen is derived from an alcohol or hydrocarbon fuel. The pictographical representation of polymer electrolyte membrane, that is PEM fuel cell, is initially the fuel will enter near the cathode from the bottom. In the previous cases, the fuel has been entered from the top side. In this case of pictographical representation, the fuel will enter near the bottom. The hydrogen will also enter to the anode, near the anode side on liberating electrons. These electrons will again parallelly flow opposite to each other to the cathode side on liberating the single molecule of hydrogen which will react with the oxygen, and the reacted byproduct will come as H2O, that is water, along with the heat will flow near the cathode side and the output will happen. And the fuel cell reaction, the whole fuel cell reaction is near the anode side. H2 is equal to 2H plus, that is 2 molecules of hydrogen along with plus 2 molecules of electrons. Near the same cathode side, half molecule of oxygen, that is O2, plus 2 molecules of hydrogen will give plus 2 molecules of electrons. 2 electrons will give rise to a single molecule of H2O, that is water. Next one is solid oxide fuel cell, that is SOFC. Solid oxide fuel cells, negative ions travel through the electrolyte to the anode where they combine with hydrogen to generate water and electrons. Work at higher temperature. They use a solid ceramic electrolyte such as zirconium oxide, which has been stabilized with the yttrium oxide. Higher temperature operation removes the need for precious metal catalyst, thereby reducing cost. Efficiencies of around 60% and are expected to be used for generating electricity and heat in the industry and potentially for providing auxiliary power in the vehicle, that is secondary power source in the vehicle, which is emergency or auxiliary power. The pictographical representation of SOFC fuel cell indicates the fuel will enter near the anode side from the top. The hydrogen will react with the electrolyte on liberating electrons which will flow parallelly opposite to each other to the cathode, thereby entering the oxygen near the cathode side, and similarly the H2O, that is a single molecule of water, will be output happens from the cathode along with the heat. The excess fuel and water will flow from the anode side, and the fuel cell reaction is 2H2O plus 4 electrons. Cathode reaction is O2 plus 4 electrons. A single molecule of oxygen plus 4 electrons will give rise to 2O minus 2. Overall cell reaction gives 2H2 plus O2 will gives rise to 2 molecules of water, 2H2O. Okay, in the next session we are going to deal with the types of fuel cells which is related to thermodynamic laws along with their principles. In the next session we are going to deal with the thermodynamic principles. Okay, let's meet in the next session.